Well, this morning I'm out sanding in the bilge. I'm going to go ahead and repaint the entire bilge because it looks like someone painted latex paint over the top of the original factory paint without even sanding and prepping. I can't find any sanding marks whatsoever. So I'm going to go ahead and strip that. Also this morning somebody had modified the inboard stringer on the inboard side of the fuel tanks, and they did a real hack job. I mean, they just butchered the stringer, and then the repair job is probably just as bad as any glass work I think I've ever seen. But anyhow, I'll go ahead and show you what one of them looks like still. I haven't stripped it off, but I've been working on the other, and I've got it pretty well stripped down. Nice, somebody's calling me. And or texting me. So anyhow, I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like, and I'll show you the side that I've stripped. So here's the port side. You can see it's kind of got a whoop-de-doo in it, and that's a pretty poor job. I'm not really sure what they were trying to accomplish, but it's a pretty buggered up job. And on the starboard side, I went ahead and stripped. I got all of the glass pretty much stripped off. I got a little bit more to grind down. Most of that didn't have any real adhesion. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of that out and clean it up, and I'll repair that. And the way I'm going to fix this stringer, I'm going to put a couple pieces of plywood on each side of the stringer, and after I saturate the wood with a thin down resin and hardener, just to soak the wood that's underneath that. There's only a little bit of wood in this stringer. It's supposed to be a foam cord stringer, and I think when they butchered this, they chiseled some of the foam out and put a piece of wood in there. And so I'm going to go ahead and resin it and get it fixed, but then I'll put plywood alongside the stringer and with wax paper, and I'll fill the low spots with high strength putty, and then I'll go ahead and glass over the top of that with some 1708, a little chop strand mat first, and then some 1708, and get these stringers back to stock size. I mean, they were way oversized where they did this repair, and so not real happy with the way that looks, but I'm going to go ahead and patch it and fix it. And looking down the rest of the bilge, I've been sanding back there. I've got the top section pretty well sanded. I got to work on grinding where they had tabbed the plywood onto the side of the hull. I'm going to have to work on that some more, but I thought I'd go ahead and chisel and grind all this glass out just to see what was underneath it. But that's kind of been a tedious project, just that little bit. But I'm happy that I went ahead and did that, because I don't like the looks of that stringer, or I didn't like it. And once I repair that, then it'll have a factory appearance, or at least look a lot closer. I might put some 1708 down, and then take some 10-ounce woven roving. Sorry, my tongue is tied. And at least make it look like the factory roving that's on there. And but we'll see. I'm not as concerned with the cosmetics as I am the structure. And yesterday I pulled the rudder tube out. Can't hardly see it, but I pulled the rudder tube, the packing out, pulled all that so I could rebed it, and figure while I'm in the bilge I'll go ahead and do all the repairs that I need to do, get it all painted, and I've still got to patch some holes in the some through holes, one right in front of the engine, and then I've got two off to the side that need to be repaired. So I'll work on those, but thought I'd show you what that stringer looked like. I mean, it's just a butcher job. And whoever did that, obviously that was probably their first attempt at glass work, or they'd never done any kind of body work. It's just they left the tags on the glass ends sticking up, and it's pretty rugged work. So anyway, making more progress again. I've just yesterday put in 14 hours just doing little piddly stuff. That's the stuff that's time consuming and kills your day. I mean, as far as getting a lot done, I worked more on my battery boxes yesterday, and I'll show you the battery boxes. I've got the battery boxes with the lids on them. I've got them hinged in the back and they open good. I'm looking at gas shocks. I might put a gas shock on there on each one just to help hold it up. I'm not really, I haven't quite decided yet, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. Or I might make some kind of a lid retaining system just with plywood, and make it so that I can flip it up and it'll hold the lid up in its upright position, at least as high as it'll open in the bilge. But I haven't quite made that determination if that's what I'm going to do. But anyhow, a lot of fun. Another day.